Yeah, good evening, everybody. Okay, let's get to it. Who is going
Yeah, good
first?
evening, sir.
So, who is going first? Who is doing the
All right,
first
let
person?
me let
Let me
me
see.
go first.
Okay,
Let me go first. Can you see my screen, sir?
okay, yeah, I can.
Hey, I'm on vacation. Every little day.
Network here is bad.
Ah, okay.
Network here is very good.
So which one do we even do first? Okay, let's. Okay,
App
the
service,
web app.
please.
Okay, app service. Okay, this is my
Yeah.
default domain. I mean, okay. I haven't
Welcome.
had it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. So,
that's great.
so I did. Yes. I
I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah. So I did just as you said. Follow the deployment to advanced to then I I went to go. So based on the fact that I'm using Mac OS, I encountered an issue, and thanks to the resilience of I and Elvis, we had to just hop on a call to be able to work on that. So initially, while I was creating my what do I call it? My web app.
Okay,
You have an option for Linux and Windows.
Windows, yeah.
So yeah, I chose Linux initially. I battled that and it didn't work. So I had to drop that a web app and create a new one and choose Windows. Whereby okay, I was surprised it worked, and I just followed through CMD.
Please, is it my network or is Binga's network, please? Anybody?
I think probably it's my network. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Can you
hear
still
you.
hear
actually
me?
having some
Okay,
network glitch.
okay. So uh,
Is
when
it my
I
network?
choose that,
Can anybody hear me well?
I can hear you clearly,
I
sir.
can hear you. That's awesome.
I can hear you clearly.
Because
Can you
I'm
still hear
trying
me,
to
sir?
figure it out. Yeah, I can hear you, Binga.
Okay, yeah. Then I went to the root, then I copied the just like I forked the repo and I
So
copied the file. What the hell?
I think it's my network. I'm having a feed that is my network.
Okay.
Are you using
Yeah.
if you're using MTN, then it's a general issue.
Is it, okay,
Yeah,
MTN is a general issue. Let me switch back to Airtel.
it's MTN because
Is that MTN is a general issue? Yeah.
yeah, my friend here is even
Okay,
complaining with the network. It's MTN.
this MTN.
So can you hear me, sir? Okay, it's switching.
Can you hear me well? No.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So you can shoot.
Okay, so I copied the files from my system. I forked the repo and I copied the files from my system. I placed it here and came back here, just as you said, came back to home, overview, and I restarted it. So another interesting thing I got to do was my virtual machine and connecting to remote desktop, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been able to connect to a remote desktop.
Please, can you show me?
Okay, so okay, I this is working obviously. So I downloaded since I'm using this thing I downloaded from since I'm using MacBook. So I downloaded this with Windows app. So I and it opens here. So this is it. Okay, I'll configure first. To configure, I'll put in my IP, then save, then I connect. So this is my virtual machine working
Wow.
here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is it. So I can do anything that has to do with my virtual machine here, and we are good to go when it comes to the virtual machine. So yeah, that was the progress I made as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
very
very much.
much. Anybody has any question as regards to it?
So I think most of I try to connect to some of us. So I think most of us we are good to go, Sha. So I don't think anybody has any question for me.
Yeah. Anybody with any presentation
Okay,
also?
yes. I think so. Let me disconnect and
Anybody that is thinking?
yeah.
Yes, I can
Okay,
present as
Elvis.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, Elvis.
Okay. All right. So I'll just start with the virtual machine. It has been created. So let me connect to remote desktop. And proceed. Let's remove the password. Saved. It's, it's coming up.
Okay.
All right. So this is the VM. Just I think the day it was deployed, like Benga mentioned, where and Tunde were on call. So I tested the its network, we're able to connect to the internet and just
And it works.
it was around here. It did work. Yeah. So
Um, that's great. So you guys were able to realize that the virtual machine is just like your normal system, right?
yes.
So that's the main thing I want you to just know about it. It's not that it is one rocket science like that. So by now, I believe that everybody should be able to create virtual machines, create.
The only thing is, so at first the region was a bit of a hassle before we were able to now figure it out. The web app, same following the steps, also deployed it and then deployed the content. after forking the repository.
Mm-hmm.
Come, let me find the domain IP. It's coming up.
Please, yes, this young lady, last number, Favor is around. Favor, how are you doing?
Fine, sir.
Hope you have done your assignment.
So they open.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm
So,
not sure. At the point, I wasn't like with the classes at all. So, like, I have to like go back to watch some video.
okay. So, which one of it have you done out of the two?
I'm still trying to create my own virtual machine. I'm having issues with getting a credit card, so I'm still stuck. Like, I'm way behind the classes. Sometimes I'm even ashamed to say anything in class.
Okay.
I
So,
think the recommendation for your card, I had issues with that too. You should use the Gray app. That was what saved me. I used the Gray app. I'll share the link again on the group chat for you to use.
Thank you very much, sir.
okay. Um, wow. Thank you very much, Elvis.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. You
Yeah.
know, the pride of every teacher is that you see your people, they are able to do that same thing also. That's very good. That's very, 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 very good. So you guys are telling me that, okay, we are good to go.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so I'm proud of that.
Yes.
Olatunde, yours also. Olatunde, can you hear me?
Yes, I've done my, like Benga said, me, Benga, and Elvis, we jumped on the call to fix it. But I can't really share.
Amen.
My laptop has been misbehaving. So, but I would present on Saturday if possible.
Okay, no,
Or I can call you tomorrow privately to present anytime you're
no.
free.
You
It
don't
won't
want to
take
know when
time,
I'm
3 minutes
free.
of your time.
I'm just being sincere. You don't want to know when I'm free.
Yeah, because my laptop has been hanging. But I've done it. And just one school of thought that something that I learned. The region and image used will determine how effective your because I had issues. I had to be changing region. Sometimes I'll change region, but the image I would use would disrupt it. So I had to get the with the help of Elvis and Benga, we jumped on the call. We're like, oh my, we got to fix this thing. We must fix this thing to make you proud. And we resolved
Thank
it
you
at the
very
end of the
much.
day.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
So some things are not said, kind of. I'm not saying they cannot be said. I'm just saying that there are some things that you learn the practical way. You understand? Do you understand what I said, guys? So there are some
Yes,
things you
yes,
learn
yes, yes.
practical
Yeah.
way. If I am just guiding you guys and doing everything one after the other, I'm not sure you guys will be able to undo some of these things yourself. Looking at it now, you guys are able to realize that there's a very big correlation between what do we call it, between a resource and the region. You understand? And also the type of resource and so on and so forth. So initially, when I was talking about Azure region and all those things, I remember I said that there are some resources that are readily available in some region than in some other region. Right? Do you remember I said that? And I said that their capacity also varies in terms of region. So those things are the things that you look at with your pricing calculator. Your pricing calculator to be very close to you. Use your pricing calculator, check those things. Is it available? Is it not available? Check the cost measures of it and so on and so forth. So those things just give you a edge on before you even say, okay, let me create these resources and so on and so forth. So do you understand? So I think that is the major part of it. And also I will just try to just add in to this. So I have given a deployment file that you guys, sorry, a web app file that you guys use for your deployment. So you guys can play around it, meaning that you can use ChatGPT or any of these AI tools to generate you another deployment file and use that same deployment file to deploy also and see what it brings out also. I think that will be impressive enough. So by next week, by God's grace, we ought to move on to other topics and say, no, I mean on Saturday, right? So on Saturday, see later, I'm coming, please. I'm trying to get our document. Files. Why is this thing? Okay. So on Saturday we ought to okay. So on Saturday we ought to do storage account. We also do storage account on Saturday. So I will show you how to use storage accounts and so on and so forth. You understand how to copy files to your storage account and how to attach. Thank God you guys have a virtual machine available now. I will show you how you can use a file share and how to connect your file share to your storage account and to your virtual machine. I mean, and how those things kind of work. You know that when you have your system. So, when you're on your system, you understand, you realize that there are some things that, like for instance, you have your system have an hard drive, kind of, you understand, and sometimes you can attach another hard drive to that hard drive to your system. Do you understand this concept that I'm talking about? So meaning that on your root of C, you can see a attachment of maybe a flash drive or a what they call a memory card or a different drive memory attached to your system. Sometimes recently we even add our Google Drive to our system also as external drive. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that Azure storage account, which I will talk about also on Saturday. I will show you guys how you can attach it to your virtual machine also, and some other things about storage accounts and so on. I will just talk about it generally. I think that is a good time to just ask anybody with any question before I say what I want to say again. Anybody with any question? Anybody with any question? And please, what I want to say is that please, that's these documents I drop for everybody on the group. I'm appealing, it's an appeal from my own end. Please, can you just help me to fill it out? Like I really appeal. So there's a reason why I'm filling it out. I'm trying to gather data from what I am doing. You understand? I'm trying to gather data for what I'm doing. This is a way you can use to pay me back, kind of. Do you understand? This is the major way you guys can use to pay me back by saying, okay, be able to fill the form. We know that you are achieving doing this. Am I really doing well or something and so forth and so forth? Do you understand what I say, guys?
Yes, so I'll personally be your town crier to post the link for them to fill it up.
So please, I'm begging. You guys help me to feed for week 5, help me to feed for week 6 also, so I can know that my back. I can't rise on. So I can know that you guys are seeing what I am doing, and also if I want to be able to present my case, like okay, these are the people I've been teaching for so far. They have learned this thing. Are they able to do it? So even though I want to have a situation where I need to recommendation, I can say, okay, these are the people I mentored. Here are they. You can contact them. You understand? And also, when I have projects, I should be able to point it out and say, okay, these are the people that this is my full list of. I'm recommending so and so person. You can come to my documents, read through it, You can see this person actually performed when it comes to app service. This person actually performed when it comes to virtual machine. This person performed when it comes to storage accounts. All those things are some of the data. I can't put everything on my head, literally myself. So that's why I'm writing and putting it down as a document. So you guys can help me to fill it out. I can be able to go back to documents, read it, and use to make my valid decisions. Do you understand? Okay, I think that's that about that. Anybody with any question when it comes to all the things I've explained so far? Any question? Adekunle, welcome to class. Adekunle, is it the first time I'm seeing you?
Thank you very much, sir. And the Saturday time clashes with another engagement of mine, so I always watch the videos that you send.
Okay.
That's why. But today, I'm free. That's why. But that Saturday, that time is always clashing with another engagement. So, yeah.
Okay, no problem with that. Just try to anytime I drop these documents on the group, please just try to fill it so I can be able to have an insight of everybody that have come into class, people that are really doing assignments, people that are really participating in the whole training process. So I don't just have a empty, like for instance, there are some people that I know offhand that they are always in class, literally always in class, you understand? But I know for one or two reasons, some people will not be in class. Like for instance, even me too, I can give you, thank God, these guys can bear me witness. There are some Saturdays I told you guys that let's meet, and something happened along the way. And I say, guys, see, we'll meet next week. You understand? So that's the reason why, please, that's why I dropped the document. Let me know what we have done for the last week. If we did something unique, if not so, let us know.
You
Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Are we closing for today like that? Benga, anything else?
Okay, nothing else, but just like you said, we'll go and try other websites to the web app page. Will come before Saturday, and we'll make the review and we'll move on to storage.
So now you can now tell your friend that is a web developer and tell the person that I can help you to deploy this thing online.
Yeah, that reminds me, so during the week, I received a call from the person that introduced me to Mr. Olaiton. So he was like, he just asked how far I've gone. He had a job, and the job was to migrate from cPanel to most likely Azure. So does it mean that this web app, since we have learned this web app now, we can do that kind of work?
Yes, sir.
Because while we are trying to create this web app, I saw even if the website has a database, I think you click on that part of database, and it means Azure has Azure has its own let's say automatic database that helps all those websites work.
So,
all those normal.
It depends. So it now depends on the kind of website. You understand? So now we are going into teaching properly. So it depends on the kind of website you are deploying. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So if you are deploying a static web app,
okay,
you don't really need a database. So what do I mean by a static website? A static website are all those websites that they are just design. You are not clicking any link.
Okay.
You understand? So that's a static website. So, but if you are working on
information website,
that's on our information website here. So, but when you are working on other websites that you have to click here, it will ask for details, it will call a backend service and so on. So, in that aspect, what you do is that you can configure these things. Do you understand? You can configure your database connection string. You can configure your app settings. You can configure many of all those things. And there are different kinds of configurations. Some applications use app settings.json in their code, kind of. So all those kind of applications that use app settings.json, you don't literally need to do configuration as variables. You understand? But all those ones that are they read from the host environment, those ones you have to configure it manually. So I think I showed you guys when I shared my screen last time that there's that there's this thing. Let me see if I can share my screen again. Sorry, please. I want to share my screen. Why is this thing not showing now? Refresh my browser. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's my network or why it's not showing. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Guys, can you see
Yes,
my
I can
screen?
see us.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I can see us.
Okay. So when it comes to variables, you will see something called um, variables. Yeah, you can just search for it. Environmental variables. Let it load. So environmental variables are variables that the application uses to work. You understand? When they build applications, like for instance, you are building an application that works with environment variables. You understand? You can configure the variables here. But if you have connection string, like database connection string and so on, you will use this thing called connection string. So under this connection string is where you put your database connection string. You have maybe you have Redis catch, the Redis catch connection string, and so on and so forth. But in the code, the developer, when the application starts up, the application firstly comes to these environment variables, read through these variables, confirm that it has its right variables, then the application has started up working. Do you understand? I've explained two scenarios. The first scenario is when the first scenario is when the variables are inside the code itself. That one is using app settings.json. You understand? But when it is not using its own variables itself, it is going to use something called the environment variable. So it's in that environment variable you can now add all these things. Yeah, but that one is more of code issue than deployment issue. Please, do you understand? It's a more of code
Okay.
parameter than this thing. But now, let me now show you guys something I forgot to talk about last week. Something called app service plan. When you have your app service works with something called app service plan. App service plan determines which kind of server is your web app running on. Do you understand? Which kind of server is your web app running on? Based on the app service plan you are using, it determines how strong your web app is. Like for instance, let me show you this one, app service plan. Okay, so on this app service plan that I'm using F1. F1 means literal app service plan I'm using. You understand? So there are some things I can do on my app service that the premium one will do better. You understand? Like for instance, there's something called slots. In your free app service plan, you can't really use development production slot. No. Yeah, you just have only one slot in this app service plan. And another advantage of app service plan is when it comes to networking. Let me show you. Networking. So on this networking, you can take notice that all these things, like my outbound, is not supported. You can see virtual network integration. You see not supported here, right? The reason why you are seeing not supported in many of all these things is because of I'm using a free app service plan. You understand? But when you start using something like a standard or premium app service plan, you'll be able to get all these things integrated with your app service. Like for instance, you want your app service to connect to other virtual network and all those things and so on and so forth. You don't need a free app service plan. You will need a premium or a standard app service plan. So that is just to run you guys through on these things. So when you have any reason to answer any question that comes with app service plan, like now when it comes to app service plan, again, lastly, I want to talk about scaling your app service plan. So I told you that we presently have a free app service plan here, right? But can you guys still hear me, right?
Yeah, you can still hear you.
Okay. But we can still say, okay, I want to scale up my app service plan. I don't want to be using this free one again. I don't really need to delete my web app. All what I will just do is scale up. You understand? All what I will just do is what? Scale up and say, okay, I want to leave this this free app service plan I'm using. You can see I'm using a free one. Now, I want to use something that is more advanced, you understand, or something that is more standard. I can now say, okay, let me go to use something called a basic, or I use something like a premium or a standard and so on and so forth. So you don't, and after that, you say once you select it and you scale up, you are done. You really don't need any other thing like redeploying your application again. No, you are not redeploying your application. Your application is fine. Do you understand? So that's just one thing I want you guys to be aware of. Please, do you understand?
Yeah, we have seen it, but I won't lie to you, sir. I know that we really understand, but we have seen it, and it's something that maybe if there's a project on it, we do it by ourselves.
We
Then
do
it
it
will sink in
ourselves. I
better.
understand.
Yeah.
It's just like that. So it's just to show you guys that
Okay.
your app service can really do a lot.
A lot.
And so if you hear it outside that your app service does this, don't be surprised. You understand?
Okay.
So you know
Yes,
that it can really do more than what you are just seeing. Also, please, just to let you guys know, some backend engineers, you know what I mean by the backend engineers? Some backend
Yes, sir.
engineers, they choose to deploy their application on the app service also. So your web app is not only for front-end application. Please, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Good. So it's not only for front-end application. Sometimes you can use it for a back-end application, meaning that, but that your back-end application is not one back-end application that is very, very big. Do you
Big.
understand?
Okay.
Like all those
Okay.
kind of back-end application that uses Node.js and Nest.js or JavaScript. All those JavaScript back-end application, those ones, they are not really heavy like that. You can deploy
Okay.
them on web app and they will
Web
work,
app.
and they will work fine. You understand? So yeah. So anybody any question?
Tunde.
Yeah, I have one question. I don't know if the question is if we handle it later, trying to understand something for these web app services and running your back end and running your front end, like you just made mention of right now. So where does Docker comes in the web app?
So
I'm still trying
Docker is majorly for containerized application. Do you understand what I mean?
yes.
Containerized application. So there are some when you have containerized application, many of them are deployed in what we call container Azure Container Instance, or they are deployed in Azure Container App. Let me just show you what I mean. Azure Container App. So you have something called Azure Container App. So you see these container apps, can you see it? You can deploy containerized application in container apps. You can deploy it in I won't really prefer using app services, kind of, you understand? Because it depends on the kind of container application you are deploying. I would say you should use container app, or you can use container instance, or you can say, okay, let me go for the big scale and say, okay, I want to use Kubernetes or I want to use
Kubernetes.
OpenShift.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
Because
some people use.
because when you made mention of it, I knew I heard it somewhere. Some people used to do that, but I'm looking for best practices, and
So,
you just made mention
so
of
that's
that.
that's the reason why I made mention of the ones that for best practices, I would prefer you use Azure Container App. You understand? It's very easy. You don't really need more knowledge on containerized application. Azure Container App is very easy to navigate around. It's not technical like Kubernetes or OpenShift. You understand?
Oh, okay.
So you can just be doing everything you are doing from the Azure portal and you are fine. And it abstracts the responsibility of managing a Kubernetes cluster from you. You understand? Managing a Kubernetes cluster
Yes.
can be actually tax intensive,
Call the
like
pods.
literally tax intensive. But for I would just say use container instance or you use Azure Container App. Those ones are not tax intensive. They just everything you are doing, you can be watching one YouTube video and be doing that one together. It's nothing big. Okay. Anybody any question
Yes.
again? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for today. I think I need to jump and start doing other things. Thanks a lot for today. See you guys
All right.
later on Friday.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks
Sorry,
for the
on
time,
Saturday.
Shay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Benga don't leave. Oh. Hello, Benga. Oyewole.
How far do you hear you?
Yeah, let's jump on that other meeting and clarify that. Hmm?
Yeah, no wahala, no wahala.